Alright, I will keep my safety settings on because, you know how the meat track is.
Indeed.
Alright, it's still not working. Okay, it might be musicless. Oh well, whatever.
I finally got Spotify to work for me today, so I'm very lucky in that regard.
I'll try later.
Right.
Alright, I'm prepared.
Alright, well, let us head inside. Remember the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me toggle that. There we go.
Who is that guy?
Let us head
You
inside.
just picked him up on the way home. That's it.
Hi.
Hi, are you guys new here?
Hello.
I have not
Yeah,
seen
I
you
know
both.
who you mean. Trust me.
No, we've been here before.
I've been here a few times.
Just because I haven't seen both of you and haven't checked you guys both, you guys cool with a check? I'm not gonna take anything. I just need to know what you guys have on you.
If you
Right?
want to know
Of course.
maybe like my
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you
All I
have any
have-
weapons, just pull them out real quick, so I just know what you got.
Yes, it's pretty much just a crowbar and
Okay.
a pistol.
Crowbar
And that is
pistol,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
some, you got some pistols, but
Ooh, nice.
that's...
Those are nice pistols.
Mhm.
Okay, so the inn is closed for the day.
Uh-huh.
You guys know.
Alright.
You know the rules. If you got a problem with somebody, right? Do it in the street. If you want to settle it in a
Mhm.
fun way, you can let me know. I could set up a fight between you and the problem person. We can have it inside the little stage area, fisticuffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than
Alright.
that, you guys know the rules. Don't start shit in the ball, please. And
Of
walk right
course,
in.
of course. Not planning on
Of
it.
course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Head inside.
Calvin, help me tell Julius he did a good job. Yeah, I know.
Pardon? Sorry.
Alright, no.
Hmm.
Got a horse band. I thought they were the one horse band.
Oh, you have
Goddamn.
managed to fit your entire body.
I do not see anything.
It's quite quiet, actually.
As long as you're having a good time.
Indeed it is.
Yes, you can. Whatever you want with that. You and your friend here.
Is there no one manning the bar?
Complimentary yogurt.
I guess Julius is gone. Anyway.
Ah, yes.
I'm here.
Oh, thank you. Would I
Mm-hmm.
get a glass of moonshine, please?
A what? A glass or a bottle?
A glass, please.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gave him the last of those yogurts I found in the office. I don't think it's been refrigerated, but I don't think he
That's
mind.
expired over a year ago, but yeah.
Well, he's
Anyway,
trying
here you
to
go.
be like a VIP. Whoa, wait.
Thank
Yeah,
you
could I
very
have one of
much.
those burgers? It was pretty good last time.
VIP lounge for our very
All right.
important guest.
That is me.
So that'll be
Yep.
25 and 8 for you.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Right, yeah.
It's raised
Thank you very much.
my defenses, nigh impenetrable,
Let us
but I
have a
cannot
seat right
see.
here.
Are they supposed to be in there?
I have a
Treat
yogurt.
him like a king, he might spend more money, all right? So I told him not to touch anything. Gotcha.
Yay.
Please let us know if you can think of anything else you may want, Your Majesty. Is he paying by card or is he paying in cash?
Does that make me a princess?
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I was if it's in
I
card.
don't think that's how it works.
In case that thing goes, it gets declined and all that.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody shows up.
Alright.
In the meantime, we can just enjoy the atmosphere.
Indeed.
Yes.
Ugh.
They're these weird cool clothes and they get
Mm.
to make fun of people for free. They don't get hit. It's called jesters
They never flux at all.
or privilege. Just as
Hmm?
privileged.
I didn't.
But yes, I
Okay,
don't.
I don't know
I think I
the
forgot
name.
to ask.
Oh, I don't know.
Were you injured at all yesterday?
I thought you asked if I did.
Oh no, not at all. I
Let me check
I didn't see your leave.
stayed with you for the most time, except for like the twice that we got separated. So
Okay, I'll teach you in the ancient arts.
Indeed, that's
managed
what
to
I was
avoid
asking
any
about.
sticky
So
situations.
I
Good, that is a huge relief.
Okay, I don't know the hell my bells are.
On that chair. You are safe.
Almost managed to avoid any situation at all, which, well,
This is how you make
but we
Say there's someone who is
managed to do something right at the very end, so that was fine.
Victor.
What do you call them?
Alright.
Get hands on
A,
the
Indeed.
hideous.
Were you able to
Will you
use
pay for that or
the
give me the tip?
baton?
I can't
Mhm.
do that as well.
We didn't
Mm,
make
wonderful.
a lot today, so you can just take it.
You're
Alright,
smelly.
alright.
Which one?
Yes, and your crazy idea. How's your whole water? With the water squirter and all that?
Going real smooth. Surprisingly, all things.
I think it's a fun idea.
Yeah, wish there's a little more chaos.
It will indeed be fun. Being practical, I don't know yet,
Fortunately,
but
I told him we'd pretty much
who knows?
let him do whatever he wanted, so.
I'll let the rest of
Well-
the staff members know that, so we don't have an issue.
Right.
We'll see how it is.
I don't really know.
Maybe
Indeed.
that's something we could make as a full-time feature.
I mean,
It's
it's
just
not
if I'm-
impossible to make.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A moderate size of ugly, like medium
I'm
ugly.
just trying to
Yes,
think
if
about
I'm-
how
You're ugly.
one of them
Not
could
gonna-
actually make it.
And if they are very ugly.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not up to me. That's why I asked. I have no idea.
Mhm.
I have no idea if that's possible.
See,
But
you're big. If
we'll just have to see.
Tell them they're ugly. And if they're giant,
I mean, if you change up
tell them they're really
the
ugly.
voltage of the weapon, it should be possible.
Maybe
Might be a little bit harder to make and fabricate, but
Ah,
should be doable, I believe, with the tools
Mhm.
that we have.
But if they're small,
can I run a
it's like being very ugly, but all compressed. So instead of being just an
I mean,
Okay, do you know what the cash
either that or
is to make sure that it's real
compressed into one
Boss did mention one of the
or that it's real?
I mean, I wasn't there, but Boss did mention one of the black market merchants apparently make stuff as well.
Can I try
Having that much money in this
So if we can't do it, maybe they can do it.
No, 100%. We just want to make sure that that's real. So
I was just thinking, it's like if I'm not gonna be in the front constantly, I still want to do something,
Can you help? I really don't know.
and that seems like a
And that's
fun thing
very
to do.
noble cause.
This is a noble
Indeed.
training you must complete isolated.
If Mr. Slick or Mr. Mickey can't fabricate said tool, then we can definitely ask there.
narrow, but you made it.
Hmm.
Alright.
Hmm.
100% make sure that's real.
Oh, so that's what you consider safe?
Tell me the results, and you will complete your gesture.
Listen, if I shut it hard enough, I don't think you can open it again.
Mm.
So.
Bring this back on.
So how are you?
I'll just
How
shut
was-
the thing and then might need a blow
How
job,
do
but
you
yeah,
feel
anyway,
about-
fucking-
I'm
Or-
This
Go
is,
ahead.
Not even
I don't know how I can help you
bolted
there.
down.
no,
if
continue.
you just-
Finish your question first.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's make sure that shit's real.
How did you feel about last night?
I'm gonna ask him some of the money he has too. I'm gonna see what he has as well. So you go confirm with him.
Honestly, I feel like it was a continuation of a waste of resources, especially with the yellow ones on our tail about to attack. We should be spending that time fabricating our defenses and making sure we all stayed healthy.
Yeah, that was the worry, and well,
Yeah, it is you.
Hang on.
it seems like it is. It seems like it is happening.
Indeed. If Miss Smiles is still hurt, I fear she won't be able to help
tried using sticks, which
That is why I was apprehensive to the idea of attacking this week.
pay for anything more. I've been told that I am valuable, so I simply rip
But
pieces off
orders are orders.
Hmm. Of course, the question is, which we may or may not actually receive an answer to.
I needed to buy anything.
Alright.
Is this attack
We don't. Do we accept that?
direct result of our actions, or was this planned ahead of time? Wouldn't we like to know?
I'm the landlord.
Seems to be a lot of information that our enemies know and we don't.
Indeed, there is quite a bit that we don't know.
I need money, friends.
There's quite a bit they're not telling us.
Listen, we both.
But I believe in time. Well, no, I've only been there for a week. You've only been there for a month, if I'm not mistaken. 2 months.
Can I pay for him?
Getting close to 2 months, I think.
But
I don't have 5,000, but
Right.
I still have 2,500.
That's still relatively new. You wouldn't tell everyone your life story and all of your deep, dark secrets after only a month of knowing someone.
Anyways, and they're trying to pay
Mhm.
3,500 to cover it.
And sadly, with your encounter the other day, that might have hurt things quite a bit.
VIP lounge, alright?
But let me assure you, since we are together in this, if I learn something, I will be telling you.
it is
Mhm.
this big.
You owe this person
That's like a month's pay.
and a lot of,
Eh,
they're paying for that.
Everybody seems so well informed.
God, I don't fucking drink that. That's how much it costs.
with the
Right.
with the exception of like
2,500 because I spent.
shade, I feel like we're mostly in the dark.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but if you're trying to pay up for his...
Indeed.
Maybe we should sit him down sometime.
I still have it. Here you go.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Or we can let
Maybe not.
things progress naturally.
Hey, hold on.
Or that too. And just
One just
in the back of our if we need something. If not, then
Fine, it's just, you know.
Yes, I just hope if you learn something and I'm not there, if you would tell me, since I will be doing the same.
You did
Of course.
Right, that we didn't accept that, so you're perfectly
Perfect.
fine, right? Don't stress out about it.
Especially with what I'm gonna have to be doing soon.
I just gonna let him know that he can't pay for
You'll be my eyes on the outside.
of course. Unfortunately, the only information that I've really learned so far is that others don't know any information.
Gave him a stick.
And that's really the only information I'm after, which, in itself is actually somewhat useful. Of course, a bit less useful than if I actually learned something, but
Indeed, that is still very useful. Any sort of knowledge is useful knowledge. Interesting.
apparently. Actually, that is one thing. I was talking to Miss Sylvia. Apparently the Fallen are dealing with the same problem that we are with communication.
Interesting.
Also, apparently, that problem was mostly, not entirely, but mostly fixed upon Chase's death.
Get up on out of here, go on then. Don't play in the street.
Just the way I go.
Hmm.
You too, I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
His death.
Ow.
Don't let him forget to pay you back.
Are you referring to the message or?
Okay.
Well,
Well, that was embarrassing. Sorry for throwing
of course. I mean, he was
memory.
killed.
oh well.
what
Indeed.
I suppose, or at least what I think she was implying, is that whoever the
One of them
new leadership is doing a slightly better job with the communication.
I'm gonna slow down a little bit. It's a bit much.
Right. I'll be hopefully asking questions. Not probably this week, but in the next.
Of course, of course. They did not volunteer that. Unfortunately, Shade was there, and blunt as ever, was trying to do an interrogation immediately. I attempted to diffuse that a little bit. It is too soon. I know.
That man does not know tact at all.
You can't keep the cup.
It's quite unfortunate.
So when
I mean, he's ripping parts of his body for it.
most
should
of the
probably
stuff
have
that I learned was not as a
contact
result of my own questioning, it was as a result of others. I didn't I didn't feel it was appropriate to badger too much.
That is probably for the best,
Mhm.
honestly.
Do we even have
But
any
I-
media
but I
Yes,
did
I'll
listen.
Have to talk to
Thing back
Mr.
up?
Shade.
Probably.
Perfect.
Probably.
I was
And-
listening, so.
You know, I'm gonna take a
And
seat
that is
over
all we
here.
can want.
Oh wait, I need to check.
Eyes and
in
ears everywhere.
here. Mm,
One moment, I'm gonna figuratively kill a fourth dimensional cat. There we go. Sorry about that. Right. Okay. Yes, it is a shame that I haven't seen any of them here. I would
That it
very much
is.
like to talk to them. And give them the news.
We'll just have to keep an eye out.
Indeed.
We wouldn't want any unfortunate misunderstandings.
Of course.
What?
Especially with
It's all a shame.
Sorry, honey.
and the tiger's already after us. It might be good to calm those remaining nerves a bit.
Dealing with
Don't want to deal with
Indeed.
any rash decisions.
what?
That's what got us into this mess in the first place.
Requires me to bend down, Shin.
Indeed. That is what I hoped that they would be able to talk yesterday, but
She doesn't have to. She doesn't.
nothing. But
Headache medication.
Thank you.
in the end, I knew that they wouldn't bargain or anything of the like. I
No.
was
Oh,
kind of
there was-
foolhardy to think that.
I would fucking hope not. I was like, I hope I haven't done
Oh,
anything wrong.
there's actually something I was meaning to ask you that I just remembered. An interesting piece of thing that I heard,
Oh,
which I suppose apparently it came from Miss Yuffie. I might have just missed this. I might have just missed this. So it's possible that it's nothing. But apparently, the Fallen were under the impression that our whole attack last night was because we were told that they killed Chase. I might have just missed that. My memory might be a bit hazy.
Earlier because of this, or like, what do you want to do?
yeah. We'll go somewhere else.
We're probably gonna be talking around at the same time, maybe. We'll see.
Alright.
I was of course under the impression that
If you want to do that thing with Victor, we can have you do that.
I don't remember from whom, and It's quite hazy. I was under the impression that some, if we weren't sure who killed Chase, but we were under the suspicion that it was like some sort of hit was taken out or something. I was under the impression that we did not know that.
I need more tea. I need more
Conversation, but we are about to have a fight inside that area between two staff members. If you guys would like to watch, place any bets down on that.
Maybe we can get like a coffee
Perhaps in
maker
a
and
bit.
just start selling mugs of
All
coffee.
right, I'm just letting
Perhaps,
the
perhaps.
patrons know that hey, if you want to see an indoor fight between two staff
I
members,
can
you
get us
know,
like a
want to let you know that's
second
about to happen.
Mhm.
Thank you for informing us.
yeah. I can get an electric
Right,
kettle.
I'll have to clear that up. That
Yeah.
might just be my memory being hazy.
Wait. We
Well,
can
it
just get a Brita filter. Do you
does
think
make
that'll work? A Brita pitcher?
sense because that is almost what happened. We received the message
Yeah,
from
Brita
Mr.
pitcher.
O'Delly
Well, I mean, I could get it.
Mhm.
Maybe.
that they are now active hunting.
In
And
fact,
the
I think
fact
I will
that-
listen to that message again. That's actually probably what I'll end up doing.
Indeed, we still have it on our phones, so...
Let's save it.
Indeed. But yes, we'll see.
That did not sound like a good idea.
Because the attack was more based upon what
necessarily like
happened with Mr. AJ.
like wrestling.
In any case, of course, it's no doubt they were also misinformed.
I mean, I'm not so sure if I'm all hyped
Indeed.
up to that just yet. But I can try something.
It would just be interesting if we were also misinformed. That would also be interesting.
Indeed. But we'll need to make sure to check all the evidence and hear both sides of the story to make any conclusions.
Hmm.
But yes, we have luckily have permission to talk and to break the blackout in this. Mostly just to inform them, but a couple added things would definitely help them.
Hmm. I suspect the communications will be one way for a little bit, but who knows? Maybe with maybe with a show of good faith, they might volunteer something back.
Indeed, who knows? With the news that a couple of them have been accepted back into the Whisperers, some of them might willingly give themselves back to us.
At least we could. At least I'll put a thought that that is an option.
Indeed, as long as the good doctor is aware of everything, I think that he'll actually be willing to let them stay.
Gonna stay outside for a second.
Because that quite surprised me what happened yesterday, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. What did happen? And I was not in the room. What exactly did
appears
happen?
that we got 6. He let 3 stay. The 3 most useful, apparently.
Mm.
The mechanic, the veterinarian, the muscle. They all got to stay.
The 3 most useful. Hmm.
That's what I
Now
believe.
that's interesting.
What's happened. But I do fear of the other 3 as well.
Of course, of course.
Grab your shoulder.
Mhm.
Which just wasn't going well.
At least some of it. At least some of them. Do at least some of them seem to. Of course, it's unwise to take things at face value, but at least some of them seem to still consider us family.
Indeed. Because in the end, that's what we are. We're still family.
A bit complicated, but
Oh, aren't all families complicated?
of course.
They've just lost their way. Emotions ran high, not logically thinking.
Perhaps we can persuade. Well, if not Odeli directly, then either Toku or the doctor that there's no point.
Indeed.
We should use all the resources that we have available against the tigers, and well, while they're not quite an available resource yet, maybe the Fallen could be an available resource.
Indeed, they could be. We just have to direct that anger. And that's the question. How do we redirect that?
Now that will require gentle touch, especially after last night. I feel like that anger is currently, or that ire is currently directed very much towards us and very much not towards them.
Indeed, that is why I hope that we can actually talk things out very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Either right now, or later today, or even
1 second.
potentially if all things falter.
Finish your thought, please.
If all things falter at the black market.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps I should go take a look there as well. We'll think about it. But the oh shoot, I forgot what I was about to say.
But alright, there is a bar brawl going on, or not bar brawl, just simple brawl back there. Quite loud.
Mm-hmm. No one's here, and that's I doubt these individuals care much for our plight. And that being said, the one thing, you might be better at these some of these games. The one thing which I was not entirely sure on.
Hey, what's up,
Ours.
Not really. I knew there was a thing happened.
Edibresso, we are at the meat rack RPing.
Oh, you guys are at the meat rack. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're not in main chat.
It's up
All
fucking
good.
early today.
It is.
Yep, it is very early.
You guys playing the gang characters?
Yep.
Yep. I do apologize, we were in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah.
No worries. I'll just chill here for a little bit.
All right. Well, since you might be a little bit better at this than I am, because it is a very, emotions are very delicate.
Indeed.
We do have the three who are accepted back in the Whispers, and of course we should absolutely inform the Fallen
I'll
of
go
that.
ahead and hop up. If you guys
What
ever
about
get
the
it from-
three? What about the three that, as of yet, were not? Just with the
Won't be truthful.
delicacy of the. I was
In this
thinking that
case,
too,
emotions are
but
high.
my recommendation, perhaps, without going into any specifics, because well, that might be dangerous. But without going into specifics, perhaps we could let them know that we are doing our best to make sure that to make sure that they continue to stay alive.
Indeed.
That might
I
be.
will be informing them of what I've put in. I don't know if it will actually they'll follow through with what I ask, but
Oh, the
I
whole
did
thing,
ask Mr.
really?
Toko-
That's.
Yes, I did ask Mr. Toko about that. So hopefully he puts
I
in
see.
his word when they do, if they are to be executed. We can hopefully save their lives.
And who knows? Maybe they're not to be executed. Wouldn't that be a
Precisely.
surprise?
Who knows? That would be
I
a
mean,
wonderful one.
I suppose I would expect of Odeli to execute them, given everything, but maybe we might be pleasantly surprised.
Indeed.
Hmm. Haven't seen anyone walk in.
Sadly, I have not either. Granted, I'm not even looking at the door, but
Of course, I am.
get a feel for one of these things.
I have a clear view.
Hey. Sorry.
Indeed.
You need something?
It is.
I do not know how long you wish to stay and to see if anyone will come.
I can stay a bit longer.
All right.
But
What he's saying.
yeah, it is
Alright.
very possible that it is too soon, and it's also very possible that they'll try to stay low for a while.
Indeed.
Alright. That'll be
Take a moonshine.
250 credits.
Actually, no. I think I'll take a meet you.
Which is why it's doubly important for us to get that across.
What was it? 70
Indeed.
credits.
And make sure that
70?
Yeah.
oh, we'll speak of someone.
Much
Not a
obliged.
fallen, but
Oh.
I am staying off his knee probably all day.
Welcome in. Let me know if I can get you something.
Give me moonshine.
Bottle, glass.
A glass.
Alright, Robin.
Roll back to
25?
Or as close as I could. You got it.
As close as I can be. They're gonna be a bit dazed,
Hot pig. Top.
maybe a bit achy, but otherwise they're good.
Hello, Miss Smiles.
hello.
It's a beautiful day, right?
It's quite nice.
Oh, goodness.
Indeed. A day can only get so nice in Zephyr City.
I would expect more.
About as nice as it could be. Almost.
Mhm. Also, if you wanna fix your hip for a bit.
I see. I see.
You need any pain meds?
That is, of course, the eternal struggle. Ah.
I'm gonna have to get used to.
Indeed.
Granted, I already feel fucking rusty, and that's because I haven't trained in 2 days.
Oh, hush.
Right.
You nearly
How are you,
dragged the life
Miss
squeezed out of
Miles?
you.
Are you doing better?
And you
Could be better.
Don't piss off, giant lady.
My eye still hurts.
What?
Mhm.
Any kinds of new juice have been
Mm.
added?
There's nothing new. It's just, we have mead, but
Well,
that's
you know,
expensive.
no, I just ordered mead juice.
If there's anything you need,
That's why I
let
wanted
us
to-
know.
Oh,
We'll
yeah, so-
definitely
oh,
help out in any way we
I thought
can.
you asked if there was anything new.
Sure.
Sorry, my brain doesn't work. Anyway, bottle of glass.
That is, yeah, that's gonna be like.
You started working on the new room?
I don't remember.
Is it bottle or
We've
bottle
been
or glass?
cleaning up plenty of rooms,
Isn't it like 90 something?
Mhm.
especially with
It is
today
70
and
for a bottle.
the next couple of days. We'll be cleaning with maximum effort.
A little tired, just waiting for the ship to be over.
What?
The ship
Yes.
we were given
Yes.
permission to do something today.
I'm trying to check if I got
Mhm. Yeah, I anticipate this next week will
Alright.
include a lot of spring cleaning.
Not this planet, not this country,
Hmm.
not this
Indeed.
universe.
It is the perfect time for that.
Indeed, the
How's the adjustment period going?
lab needs to be finished
No
today,
rushing
so
sucks, but
that is where I shall
as
be
I've got
focusing
enough
on my
money,
work.
I'll get one of them implants and head home.
I'm just wondering
Oh,
if
shit.
she'll be there by the end of today.
Hey, yeah, I suppose.
We shall see. We shall see.
Anything or
Wait, do you work here?
Indeed.
recently, yeah.
Well, I don't know what other service you offer. I thought it was just a bar.
Well, they got it for now.
Just seen our
Here, in
friends
case
today.
they need me to take over.
No, not a single one has shown up
You know
here,
about security while we sit down here?
much to our disappointment.
Oh well, I'm doing a little bit of both. You heard Amsky.
Yeah, it's
The sole fact of
either too soon
just wanna make sure
or
everything's
perhaps
full, but I know things aren't gonna go to shit.
they're
But since Victor's a little thing,
laying
I wanna make sure that he's
low for a while.
go in between both sides here, right?
Fair enough.
Good point.
One downside about the staff fights, you know, especially with security, you know. The security guys know about
It's a shame.
Yeah, I'm just.
At least we might be able to
looking get
potentially see one or two of them tonight
Bossman
at the
comes
Lotus.
back alive.
Hey, honestly, you could take my paycheck.
Or I've been around.
There was
Hey
only one
man,
fight,
come
yeah.
on now, you don't.
You're free to join us if you want, Miss Miles, tonight.
So,
Julius.
I will try.
It's been a very quiet day.
yeah, no, okay, no. The better. Unusual.
That is
I'll
better
find
than a
some
no.
way
Actually,
to
considering
pay you
New
back.
York, then
Yeah, I wasn't there for
What?
years.
Just being yourself. Just be yourself.
Even if I took everyone's paycheck this
one of them I
week,
recognize as a fight with the
still
other
wouldn't
ones.
be near
Could be
enough
fun.
to cover
Just in case something happens.
cost of one of them
Indeed, we
implants.
have received
Those things are very expensive.
orders / permission from Mr. Slick to talk to them. If you wish to know the context. Just to inform them that there is a chance.
I owe you already for this favor, so don't put me in debt.
I just
noticed.
Keep being yourself, that's all that matters. Yes.
I just noticed that, like, tall guy, he has no wrists, and when I noticed that, I was
Yes,
I was really uncomfortable because I couldn't think
Do you
about anything
think
else.
the new assistant is capable of
It's just
helping you out?
straight from hand to arm. There's no wrist. It's horrible. I hate
Honestly, with her
just,
apparent medical background, I
not
believe that
focus
she
on
would
these
be
things.
Yeah, I ignore those things, Robert.
a good fit with her steady hands. Especially the fact that she's a veterinarian. That is also a major boon. I believe Miss Caro would greatly appreciate the help with taking care of the frogs once we do manage to get them.
I'm just excited to have another member.
Indeed, our team shall rise to 4.
Hmm.
Yeah, when it comes to scrap, we are pretty stocked, but when it comes to medical stuff and science stuff, we are low on personal resources.
That
No,
just
don't
means
worry. Especially with us now there, and with the backing of the good doctor, we can actually start our own experiments.
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
try
that
to
just
stop.
means that we'll have plenty of resources to do what we need to do.
Indeed. Perhaps we can find a way to completely revert those who have undergone the effects. We can potentially save Mr. Bucky's life so he doesn't need to be on the drug 24/7. There's many great things that we can do once we start learning about this fun substance. That's all I care about is making sure that we keep it
So, Robin, how are sales?
off the streets from now on.
How are sales?
I just
Well,
dread to
still
think
pretty
what they
good.
would happen
Well, not, perfect as it was
if it
earlier.
continues to
or we
circulate
thought,
within the
but it's still
Tigers.
good.
Well, rather have some done than nothing, especially on a empty day like this.
I can only imagine all they have to do is just send a
Yeah,
kid
1,000's pretty good.
anywhere they want.
Like, even for a normal day, 1,000's really
Only
good.
for them to inject
Oh,
themselves
shit,
and turn
1,000.
into a Hulk.
That's
Wreak
really
havoc.
good.
Well, we do have some catching up to
Let
do.
that continue. Indeed.
Alright. 250 credits.
Right. But we won't ask our questions too soon, though. As I said, you have to be mindful. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Indeed. By any chance, do you know anything about
I'm already done. Oh.
the ones that
You
we
just
have
put it on
now?
the counter.
As you already know, Xavier's a medic.
Very
Could
acute
you my
attention
ridiculous
span.
long arm and try to attempt to
She
just put it on the counter.
saved
Just put it
my
on the
life
counter.
a few times. Then we have Mark and
Well,
Numpty.
so's enough.
Never take his puppet
Let me know if I
off
can
his
get you
hand.
anything else.
I
Break
figured
your
that
neck.
as much.
It is.
How's barkeeping going,
I
Julius?
can not get drunk if I so choose. Kind of a choice, really.
And the last one, the weapon
Let me
crafter,
know, like I said.
Mickey.
Honestly, I might
Haven't talked to him
try
much.
to get a fight later on.
Excellent.
No, no, get super.
Alright.
I haven't fought a single time.
I have it on me.
It's quite an,
I
missing
mean, they will
trick.
play along as long as it keeps them alive.
Indeed, I just
That's
hope
good to
they-
hear.
You didn't hear me?
I did not hear you.
Hopefully they see reason that our true enemy is the Tigers.
I guess I do have the sneaky voice. Very practical.
Right, there is someone I wish to know more about if you do know them. A young miss named Marge.
Huh.
Do you know anything about her?
Marge.
That would be helpful.
Complicated person. Drinks a lot of coffee.
Mm.
He's obsessed with that rats.
Indeed.
She
So-
created the rat bombs for the fallen.
Right.
Well, the coffee is new.
Interesting.
Is given the impression that she is very secretive and doesn't talk to many people, even within the Fallen.
Yeah.
I've seen her
Well, for
here
now,
a
I
few
think
times, but I didn't know how important she was.
very important. Um, every research on the serum is on her.
As I was told,
Mm-hmm.
that is why our secondary objective was to see if we were able to secure her. With her expertise, everything would have been jump-started with our research, but not having to start at square one. Just wish I can talk to her one-on-one. With no weapons, of course, heaven forbid.
Maribel back
Just a
there?
casual conversation.
Where's Maribel? Is she upstairs?
It's a
Oh,
shame.
perhaps it
Hard to
would
talk
be.
to her.
Indeed.
It would probably be too on the nose, too. Oh, never mind. I was just thinking about coffee. That would probably be too on the nose.
Indeed.
Oi, Maribel, you up yet?
Yes, we'll have to
You know how long it'll take for my leg to fully bounce back?
ask around.
What to do later today with the...
And perhaps get something, which I doubt, when we do talk with the Fallen.
I wonder. Perhaps it might be easier to, and it really does sound, if even her closest family doesn't know much about her, it really does sound like our efforts might be best directed at those closest around her.
Perhaps, but as I said, we should probably let the new one settle in first.
Of course.
Before we discuss and hopefully talk to people there to make sure they don't do anything further to worsen the situation.
Of course.
Especially with the
That's-
tactless Mr. Shade.
That's just a secondary priority. The primary priority is to ensure everyone's safety.
Oh, of course. That will always be priority number one. But yes, I do believe yesterday you asked me if I had a line.
I did. You changed your mind.
Oh no, my line will stands, as I said. The more that children have to engage in this fight, I cannot bear that to happen anymore. The sooner we end this war, the sooner we stop the serum crisis, the better.
I think it's Steve's glass.
Every single person in this city should have a chance. That is my line.
So you think if we win the war and the Tigers are gone, this will be over?
No. Nothing will be over, especially in conflicts like this. There might be different gangs, there might be different people fighting in gangs, but the conflicts will always arise. I sadly have to join this life due to circumstances, but that was a choice that I made. And that is what I wish to give people, the choice.
At the very least, there would certainly be less conflict. Of course, we'll never be able to stamp out all of it.
Indeed. As long as Saphira City is Saphira City, nothing will be done about it.
It's honestly, it would be foolish to try. We can only do our part, and the most that we can.
Indeed. But yes, that means I will stop at nothing to figure out the serum and to get my job done. I just wish it. Won't utterly destroy everything. We are told literally almost quite nothing there.
Do you want me to grab Steve real quick?
Hmm?
You want me to grab Steve?
Oh no, it's just
Yeah.
quick.
Okay.
When all this shit started with the Tigers, was just fists or baseball bats. It's kind of crazy that it ended up like this. Laser guns, hulks, Ravenholm and Marlow City.
Vampires, indeed.
Empire. Oh yeah, forgot that.
I've heard that word mentioned. Ravenholm. A couple of times.
It's a small place.
Mm-hmm.
Close to Marlow City. It's fully Tiger territory. And there are creatures around there that you don't want to meet.
What do you mean by creatures?
Never seen it, but Ravenholm is the reason for the Fallen incident. So we sent them out to a mission to scout out the place, I guess. And everything was like always. It was a suicide mission. We almost did that. Like, wasn't any
Trace, you
difference.
mind taking over the bar real quick?
And they came back with
Hell, I got
fear in their
that.
eyes and broken.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're gonna keep an eye. I was gotta go grab Steve or something. Thanks,
So,
Julius.
Yep.
I see.
mutations, not just like bigger rats than in like the Thera or
That does clear things up somewhat.
Are you referring to genetic modification? Or
you wanna name it modified. Can't believe the faces were pretty similar to like a description of a Lovecraft book. You ever read them? Abominations from other places. So I don't think you can
how
say.
are they doing there?
Yeah, good question.
Very interesting. Heard a bit about this Marlowe City as well. None of it good.
Have you ever met a crazy? Well, that's how we call them.
I've never heard that term before.
We do have Jailbird, if you're referring to that. To her. Without her meds, she is probably truly mad, but...
Can I get water, please?
Whoa.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, hold on.
It's pretty close. I mean, obviously, she's sick.
Here.
But the people they make in
Thank you.
Marlow City are already, they were normal humans.
Cupcake is fine, thank you.
Or even home. And
What can I get you?
No, cupcake is fine. Cupcake doesn't.
Are
they are
you
made,
saying...
I don't.
made like this.
I don't think we have.
They weren't like this before.
Cupcake.
No, I'm fine. We don't need anything.
Okay. His name is Cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that these abominations were once people?
I'm not sure. Could be.
Suppose then I have one last question about the whole situation. So I've just heard some conflicting information. Would you happen to know if Marlowe City is under the control of the Tigers?
I haven't seen it myself. I need to think for a second.
Oh dear.
I don't really know, but I could be. Well, actually, it's under the control of the leader of everything. Which I'm sure you know who it is.
Can I also get yogurt, please?
I
At least-
know who you're referring to. We probably shouldn't say their name out here.
What little yogurt
Oh
we
yeah.
have left on the
We shouldn't
premise.
spread that word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or we're gonna be dead tomorrow.
Yeah, you've been a good
Indeed.
customer so far. We ain't trying to kill you.
Hmm.
Let me send you a text.
Ah,
message
yes,
then,
if it's
Miss Foxglove.
if it is that one. I have an idea. I'm not
Oh,
not
you've already
100%. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might know who you're referring to.
Sean, since you bought that meat,
I'm
sure
sure
I
the
know a
tigers
couple
can
of
afford that
leaders.
themselves.
Thank
I've
you.
never tried it. It don't look good.
I know of a
They
couple
are
of leaders,
founder.
but Mhm.
Sorry, what was that complete? I couldn't hear you properly.
Oh, of course. Well, thank you. That does clear things up a little bit, though. That does clear things up.
How was it? Okay.
Anyway, unless you have something to add, Nicholas, that would be at least my part on the subject. We can move on to something more pleasant.
Oh, it's quite alright. It's... I just sent it you the message. But... Yes, if you want, we can move on.
Cupcake will be right back.
That is
Okay.
a lot of info to unpack.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What do you think will happen to the others?
I do not know. They said they only wanted 3. I think that is why they only took 3. And left the other 3 with us.
Nice of them to keep their word like that.
Indeed. I did ask for them instead if they were to be executed. To instead let them have a chance. To be given to me. I know it's a long shot, but it's still worth the try. I do know that the fact that you can survive.
Oh. Yeah. What's the plan?
Indeed. I just hope they actually follow through and Mr. O'Delly listens to his council members. I just don't want them to kill off people that can help fight the good fight.
Did you ask that to Choku?
Hello, Julius.
Or...
I have.
Which one? We have 2.
All of them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
Didn't have time to ask the good doctor, but
Robin?
did manage to ask Mr. Toku.
Okay, I'm done.
Let's see how much Odali respects Toku's words.
I'm gonna go back outside
And we listen to
now.
it.
Indeed. But I do believe that the good doctor would probably be for my idea if Mr. Toku has explained it. I believe that the good doctor knows what he is doing, and can only do so much since he is only a council member and not Odeli himself.
But Odeli respects him, I guess, way more than he does Toku.
Indeed, well, it does indeed make sense, though. Toku was only newly appointed, though he hasn't earned his trust yet. Completely. Or value his opinion as much as the other older members are.
Of course, that's only
It
natural.
just appears that Mr. Indeed. It's just sad to see that Mr. Odeli sometimes makes rash decisions.
Yeah? Don't need to tell me that. Bong, bong, bong.
Indeed.
Well, at least we have another level head on the council now.
Indeed. Every interaction I've had with Mr. Toku has been a positive one. So, I'll take that.
We got
Do you
6.
believe?
Just a lot.
Indeed.
Odeli will be more than pleased, I guess.
What the fuck is happening?
He just doubled the number of the people he wanted.
Hey,
What's going
yeah, it went well. I peed in a fountain. Oh, I didn't. No, never mind.
Give you a talk.
You what?
Hey, we sold a gourmet. Rogue, come here. Rogue, come here. Rogue.
All right, initiate the plan.
The heck is
We're initiating
playing
the plan
Manderville?
now. We're initiating the plan now.
What's going on?
Plan starts now. Something that we set up. We're holding him down, fucking actually dealing with these wounds.
Oh dear. I've just been hit by a wave of sleepiness. Looks like I
don't. What? Someone needs him in the alleyway.
Yes, I understand. Do you need to
Until
head out?
his fucking leg is dealt with, that's infected, and he's been running around on it, broken as well.
I likely will.
Leg dealt with first.
It seems like
Okay, who needs him in the alleyway?
Because he's been refusing help.
Alright.
thing that I should probably do.
Exactly.
Get him now. Up.
Okay, wait, who needs cybernetics? I mean,
I'm sorry, Miss Miles, but we were only here for a short period, hopefully to run across our friends to were informed of the situation.
I'll try again at the Lotus. Perhaps they feel more
Indeed.
comfortable there.
Probably.
Well, this place is neutral ground. It's
Curious show up. Wanna let them a message? I'm gonna stay a little longer.
Alright. If you do see any of them, try to
barkeeping? Oh, what's that?
slow as hell. Nobody
inform them that
Nah, it's not that. Trust me.
everyone should
Probably
will
just
be on
this
that.
week happens to be chill. But yeah, again, last week was the same way.
Alright.
Excuse me. Alright.
Sounds like there's struggle upstairs.
Here's Michael.
Yeah, I'm about to see what the fuck of a struggle it is.
Appreciate it.
Wish there was more people outside. Can't sell drug in here,
Right.
so I thought we better just stay outside.
I'll see you soon if you don't come to the base.
Yep.
Then
Sure.
hopefully everything will be
I
clean.
will be there soon.
Indeed.
All right.
Got some glasses
Have a good
over there
day.
need washing. Closer. So.
You both.
That'll be the wrong way,
Nope,
buddy.
it was this way. Yes.
It's
sorry,
not
I
this way.
Take it easy.
Yes, I might have drinking a little too much. It's not strong.
Yeah, mind if I go in?
And no one's outside.
Slow day in general.
Indeed. Well,
Perhaps tomorrow
we do
might
have
be better.
Indeed. Perhaps. And we do have a lot of cleaning to do today, but I
Of
do
course,
hope
of
you're
course.
able to.
I'll be working on some watermelon stuff next.
Oh, hello.
Giant watermelon that I summon in pots. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to think of weapons out of food. It's fucking difficult. But I can't wait for the Avatar dynamics because they got the
Keep here.
octopus thing. And that means for the sausage swarm, I could add the octopus thing on those because they have food. So I could do that.
We have orders.
Of course.
And sadly, we weren't able to have the orders, so we have left.
I was actually debating whether I'm not in as a medic today. Do you think Casey would come along?
Oh, no.
Oh, we are heading out.
Miss JC is there. I mean, Miss Miles is there.
Damn, I just finished a fucking mission. I didn't know you guys were coming. I didn't know you were going to the meat rack.
We are in, yeah, we are in,
This is
NPC
like the one time
comms.
I could have actually gone as Casey instead of being Canicus.
Well,
Very true.
I do apologize.
Especially because I didn't even get killed as an NPC. It was sad. I just stayed alive the entire time, bullshitting and just talking like business, stocks, sales, acquisitions, market.
Right, actually,
Oh, yeah, I'm probably.
Alright, motherfuckers. People were super